Wow.
Come on. Oh, the one child to fight the monsters. I want to see.
Playing foosball in the background.
Greetings and salutations, hello and welcome to Gamersledge podcast. My name is Mark, I am one of your hosts. Joining us this week, we have a full house for take 2 of the podcast. Pizza Man, let me know if you can hear him in the top left. Brady Square, it's Daniel.
Hey everybody, how's it going out there on the interwebs?
And in the center top, Brady Square, it's Dave.
Yes!
In the top right,
Center square.
in the top right, Brady Square for the block, it's Neo Sapien. Why? You know what? I said Neo Sapien because that's what it says on your thing. You're the only person who doesn't have their name on there. So, hi, Matt.
I was told specifically to put my name.
You know, he's Neo Sapien's the only smart one. That's all we can say.
Yeah. In the bottom left, Brady Square, it's Pizza Man's favorite streamer and host. It's John.
That's me. And Dave, come on now. Dave, John, Mark, they're all pretty generic names. I think we're okay.
Yeah, but my bank account now says 0, so I beg to differ.
Yeah, but that's your fault.
Started that way. Quit
That's your
lying.
fault. That's because you just bought Pizza Man a PS4.
Oh, wait, yeah, I had Amazon open. I'm sorry.
In the bottom
Yeah,
center
that's
square
bad.
is, of course, Kate.
Hello.
And welcome to Gamersledge Podcast, a look at what it means to be a hardcore gamer, a look at the gaming industry, and a conversation amongst friends. We have a ton of stuff to cover, all of us speaking this time. For 2017 predictions, we've got a ton of news as well. But we'll start as we always do, which is by going around the room, talking about what people have done for the last week. Let's start in the bottom left with John.
Alright, let's try this again. So, aside from adulting, I've really been doing 2 things. Been playing
Nice.
Final Fantasy 15. Thank you, Dave. I've been playing
Thank
Final
you.
Fantasy 15, and then splitting my time with a new mobile game that I have not played before, called Summoner's War. It's pretty standard. It's cookie cutter. You know, you got a bunch of guys. It's 1 to 5 stars. You fight them. You love them. Normal thing. Oh, someone's food's here.
Sorry.
Other than that, diving in Final Fantasy 15. I'm about 40 hours in, and barely even cleared the 3rd chapter. Which is pretty sad considering that the quest level for the story is only level 10 and I am like level 31. So I've kind
I
of
was
fallen
at-
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was doing 20 levels at level 60.
What's that?
I was doing like 20-some levels, story quests at level 60.
Yeah, well, I haven't moved to level 10. The next story mission is level 10. I haven't moved from that in quite a while. So I keep making the circle. You know, you get a little bit more, you go back, you do more marks. You just keep making the circle.
I'm the
So,
same
that's
way.
about it.
I'm level 45 now, and I still haven't left probably the first 2 screens worth of area. So,
Have you even unlocked the chocobos yet?
I have unlocked the chocobos. That is the one main story quest that I've done. I am supposed to get in my car.
Story quest.
Right now, there's the main story quest that I have queued up is I'm supposed to follow somebody in a car, and he's just standing there waiting for me to get in my car and follow him, and I just go do anything else. and the guy is just like standing there night or day waiting for me to get in the car. And that's when I remember, oh yeah, I'm playing a video game, and that guy's going to stand there forever, and I'm going to make him stand there forever.
You're a terrible travel companion. Yeah, so you're just a little bit further than me. I don't remember exactly what I'm doing, but I'm supposed to go to a town and meet someone there. That's all I remember.
John, I'm supposed to ask you if you will marry Pizza Man, and also, Dave, will you buy Pizza Man a PS4? Too late, he already did, didn't you see?
Yeah, unless it's already on its way, it's not happening because I just locked down my credit cards.
Yeah, Pizza Man, I'm sorry, I'm a taken man by a woman of age that wouldn't get me thrown in jail. So, just throwing that out there.
Burn.
A lot of caveats there. All right, so what else have you been playing,
Yeah.
John?
That's it. You missed half of it going to get your.
I didn't miss any of it. I didn't miss any of it. Not a single bit.
You missed all of it.
I
You
did not.
lie.
Yeah.
No.
Such a hater.
Final Fantasy
You
15.
don't want to miss a thing.
Don't want to close my eyes.
Oh my.
He has a headset he can hear as he walks around.
Yeah, that's the whole
My
point.
PlayStation VR has gotten some use.
That's good.
Oh,
Yeah. By my 6-year-old. But that's about it.
nice.
Yeah. Good investment.
Kate, how about you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, playing Final Fantasy 15. I'm further than you guys in the story. As far as characters go,
Burn.
I'm over level 60,
Grats.
so I'm quite a bit further than you guys are. Although I will say, you're like the guy that I was just waiting by my car forever, Arden.
Yeah.
I was watching another streamer, and there's something about Arden. I was like, this guy reminds me of someone, and it was like kind of bugging me. And I saw another streamer say that he was Scar from The Lion King, and it's totally true.
That's exactly it. That is exactly that
He
guy.
would be that guy.
It is totally
He would
him.
be that guy.
That's amazing. I approve of this message.
I
That
was
is.
like, oh my god,
amazing.
it's true. He is
So he's
human Scar.
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, he's Jeremy Irons. But no, I
he's
mean
like,
his
His hair
mannerisms.
is kind of like a lion's mane, and his mannerisms are. He's Scar.
Yeah, he is. That's awesome. I approve.
But I've gotten to the part in the story where it's just like, ow, my feelings. And I wish I could talk about it, but you're all so goddamn slow.
Oh,
Question. You guys mentioned that the patch came out yesterday for it.
Yes.
Is that the one that's supposed to improve the second half of the game?
No.
Not yet,
So this
because they
is
have to
something else.
they have to do all the voice dubbing for that.
Yeah,
So
we'll
that's
talk
not
about
coming out.
we'll talk about that patch
for
a
a
little bit
while.
later in news.
Yeah, but I want to talk about it now.
But yeah, it's like, you know that meme, well, that escalated quickly? That's what it feels like once you get to chapter 9 in this game.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then you go back and look at Prompto's pictures, and it makes you just want to cry.
That almost sounds like a spoiler in and of itself.
I'm not saying why.
Okay. Did
Yeah,
you play? Oh, go ahead.
Other than Final Fantasy 15, I've been playing some Overwatch because they have their winter event going on right now, so I was messing around quite a bit on that. The Christmas skins aren't as great as the Halloween skins, but the Halloween skins were pretty legendary. And I've been playing some DOAX3, but I've been actually playing it on my US account because I want to try and platinum it for the trophies, because I've been playing it all this time on my Hong Kong account. So other than that, I've been working. Work.
Nice. Daniel, how about you?
I have had a fairly big project at work, so I have played 0 games in the past month and a half.
I do not believe you, sir.
I have,
that
however...
maybe not video games.
do not judge him.
And I was just about to get to that. So I have been reading this, which is backwards for some reason, which is the new Shadowrun edition that just came out. It's only in digital so far. That gets rid of most of the heavy rules, and is much more story-based. So it gets rid of about 75% of all the crunch of the role-playing game rules, which is a turn-off to a lot of players. And then I've also been reading through the Firefly RPG, because I have some friends who are really interested in that who are coming over on Monday after Christmas. So that's been pretty much that.
Awesome.
I'm the odd man out. I don't really video game it.
But you other kind of game it.
I other kind of game it.
And besides, let me introduce you to someone else who doesn't video game. It's Dave.
That is so not true. I've been gaming up a storm lately.
Broforce?
Yeah, but this is very atypical.
And Jetpack
Hey, don't-
Joyride doesn't count.
Don't crash on Broforce. Broforce is amazing.
Thank you. Broforce is amazing, and I have had a lot of fun with that. However, it's been all Pokemons lately. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon. Pokemon Moon and Sun, I've been playing. And it's very fun. They do a really great job on the game. And it's been really like, it's kind of like a throwback to the old, but it's so refined. They really streamlined. Where'd Mark go? Mark leaves when I start talking. Hey, there he is. He's back. That was like magic. Okay. So Pokemon Sun and Moon have been what I've been playing lately. It's been awesome. A lot of refinements to the gameplay, which have been greatly appreciated. It's been fun. It's scratching that old itch at the same time. They're doing a really great job of throwing back to the old and the new at the same time. We've talked about this at length. I think in the last podcast, me and Toro went into it a lot. So there's really not more.
It wasn't the last podcast. I can guarantee that. Unless your name is...
Actually, I wasn't on the last podcast.
That's right.
It was the podcast before that me and Toro were gushing on that, and how they were going, like, with the old and the new at the same time. So I've still been having fun with that, and that's kind of been dominating what I've been playing lately.
Nice. Matt, how about you?
Some Final Fantasy 15 finally got to the beginning of Chapter 3, so yay. Rock Band 4, We Are Groot is now Platinum tier as of this week.
Yeah!
Third down tier. There's 2 more tiers up, but it's going to be pretty impossible to migrate up at this point.
And who didn't help?
It gets hard.
This guy.
That guy with his thumbs up in the air.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Absolutely zero contributions
I know.
to the episode.
I'm sorry.
I don't understand how he's not contributing to this.
Because
After all that big talk he had before it came out.
Yeah, seriously, straight up.
Because last night I was gonna play it, and then Pizza Man was like, "No, you should play Overwatch," and then Deuce was like, "No, you should play Overwatch, and I'll play with you." And I'm like, "Okay," and so that's better than singing alone.
And shout out to the to Petrol, who is our clanmate who nobody knows, but he hooked up with us, and he's slaying it on the guitar and bass. None of us can come anywhere close to what he's doing on that.
I'm
so,
sorry, you meant slayering
thanks,
it,
man.
right?
Slayering it, yes.
Shut up,
Yeah,
Mark.
Oh!
nice. Also, I played some stories, the Path of Destinies. It's not quite what I thought it was.
No.
It's one of the free games for
Not Destiny, John. I saw you perk up there.
Oh, no. The
Nice.
Path of Destinies. No, not Destiny. Will not touch. Do not want. No Ken has. And it's one of the free games. It's kind of a choose your own adventure, because you get a choice between 2 options as the character, and then you play the level of the choice you made, and then at the end of that level you get 2 more choices, and it just keeps branching that way. So there's a lot of replay value if you want to see how all the different choice permutations play out. The levels are really short though, so it's a pretty quick play. And then also did the initial level of Invisible Ink just to see what that was about. That was the other free title that I hadn't tried out yet, the PS Plus title that I hadn't tried out yet. It's a tactical spy SRPG.
Okay.
So you like go to doorways and then you have to use your sneak tool to find out what's on the other side of the doorway and then plan your attack and use your computer person to hack cameras and knock people out, and then they wake up after 3 turns, so you got to be clear of them, otherwise when they wake up they'll shoot you. And so it's pretty interesting. I didn't get very far into it, but
Very
it's pretty
stylized
interesting.
art style, right?
Yeah, super stylized. Very kind of a noir setup, but a very late 90s computer game kind of stylized graphic to it. Yeah, more mid 90s. Then I also fell down a particular hole that just came to PS4 called Stardew Valley.
It was nice to know you.
Bought that for the wife. Yeah, bought that for the wife, but I figured I had to give it a go myself too. So yeah, that's a game you can lose many hours to and have absolutely no idea that, I've been playing for like 10 minutes, it's 12 hours later. Yeah. So if anyone who doesn't know, Stardew Valley is basically if you take like
Terraria, Minecraft,
Terraria and
farming simulator.
Yeah, so if you take Harvest Moon and Terraria and mix them together, that's basically what Stardew Valley is, wrapped up in a 16-bit presentation style. And
so
yeah,
Daniel,
there's
that's called Stardew Valley. Go buy it.
Yeah.
So Naomi has it.
Oh.
She really enjoys it. I don't have time to play video games, but I'm sure I would also fall into that trap.
How's it spelled?
It is a trap.
STARDEW space Valley.
And then Valley. On PC, PS4, probably Xbox One. I don't know for sure, but probably. Then the standard trifecta of adventure, capitalist, Pokemon Go. I have Santa Pikachu's now, and Words with Friends. And then obviously the big movie. Last week we were a day out from watching it, the last podcast, but Rogue One. And I've been watching a show on Sci-Fi called Incorporated, which I'm actually digging. Elements of Gattaca kind of mixed with Minority Report kind of overtones.
Oscar Isaac, right? That's the one with Oscar Isaac?
No.
Yeah.
That's who I thought it was before too, but it's not. It's just a dude that looks remarkably like him. I can't remember his name, but that's who I thought it was at first too, but it's not. He just looks a lot like him. But yeah, it's produced by Affleck and Damon, which I didn't know till recently. But other bonus, it takes place in Milwaukee.
Is that really a bonus?
Well,
I'm not sure.
Think about it. Well, one of the premises of the world is that global warming got to the point where the caps melted and all the coasts are flooded. So you can't have a setting in the usual typical where you would coastal cities in North America because they're all underwater. Now, Milwaukee probably wasn't the best choice because it's right on one of the Great Lakes, and if the oceans are flooded, the Great Lakes are probably flooded too. But yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, that's
Pizza Man wants to know how you enjoyed Rogue One or not.
I did. I enjoyed it a lot. Is it a perfect movie? No movie ever is. It
Lies.
wasn't quite what I was anticipating going in. But you've probably seen this or heard this somewhere. The beginning is a little. It's hard to say it's slow. There's not a lot of action, but the force feeding you so much information at the beginning of that movie is insane. Force feeding, yeah, exactly. Nice. But then the second and third act, it's just bam, bam, bam. This thing's going nuts. There's some amazing scenes in there. The visual style of the movie is amazing. It's gorgeous and looks modern, but everything is stylized in the episode 4 style. So everything's got, people got 70s haircuts and mustaches, and all the controls are big clicky buttons and knobs and levers, and it looks, they went to a ton of effort to make it look like the Star Wars universe looked in episode 4.
I
didn't know we were allowed to talk to that.
Parts about it. I didn't think we were either. But yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't give spoilers, sure. So Dave
I'm
and
not playing, but it was awesome.
yeah, Dave and Daniel, you've both seen it. John, have you seen it?
Not yet.
Yeah, me either. So the top rows
You
have
are
seen it.
missing out on life, dude.
Yeah, but they don't really like Star Wars, so...
I'm in a serious relationship now. In the past, I would have just gone by myself, and now it's kind of that weird point where, even though she's not into Star Wars, she would want to come with me, but it's hard for us because we both have kids. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the verge of just sneaking out and going to it without telling her.
That's the first sign that it's over.
No, that's not the first sign it's over. That is self-preservation. You have to do that.
It's
Can
not
you
a mature
compare it
relationship.
to episode 7, or is it just so two different worlds?
Oh, it's very
hard to-
different worlds. Yeah, they're totally different styles of movie. This one is, a lot of people will say this isn't a Star Wars movie, and to a point they're right. A lot of the trappings and trimmings, this isn't a part of the Skywalker saga, so it is inherently different. But yet it's still in the same universe.
Pizza Man is saying John should stop referring to his mother as a serious relationship.
Oh, God.
Wow.
That was a good one. I like that.
Why?
That's-
Thank you.
Virtual high five.
That's
You're just jealous that I turned you down, man.
Oh, boy.
I know you're not talking about me. I woke up that same place you did, man.
No,
There was no turning away.
That was a special bond that you and I shared. Okay, we'll never walk back from that.
So Lexi, I don't think I've even told several of you. My poor wife, we moved to California, and she has been like nonstop sick since we got here. So this week she went to the doctor because she was getting a little worse again. She has strep, bronchitis, pneumonia, double sinus infection, and they think she has asthma now. So we're on our way to see a respiratory.
What are you doing to her?
Nothing.
Yeah, seriously,
Nothing.
what is going on in that place?
Yeah.
I know California is all about like the environment, but turn that heat up a little bit.
Yeah,
Give
no,
her
that's
some
not
heat.
the issue. So, anyways, she's kind
Did you
of.
move into an exhaust pipe?
She did not. She is
He's making her
restricted.
inhale chlorine.
Yes, that is no. She is kind of not allowed to
inhaling his bad jokes.
leave the house for a couple weeks. So as soon as her curfew is up, then we will go watch Rogue One because she really wants to see it, and I actually really want to see it. The only thing that made me not want to see it was Matt was like, "Well, it's not a perfect movie, and it's not as good as I was hoping it was going to be." So, and I'm like, "Oh, well, that
Don't
sounds
listen
like
to
it's
Matt.
horrible then."
Well,
Don't listen to
I
that.
had,
For me,
I
it
went
goes.
in knowing I had. Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was just gonna say,
Well, I was
to
just-
clarify that statement is, I had friggin' frag, I hate this program. I had overly unrealistic expectation. I let myself buy into the hype of the movie, and I knew that going in. So saying it didn't meet my expectations is just saying it didn't reach this like completely unattainable goal that I knew was unobtainable. So
I don't know
if
why
I
anyone listens to Matt about these things, because he always has these super high expectations, and he's like, well, it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be. You say that about everything.
I thought it was
Everything.
awesome. I went in with kind of like reasonable expectations, and I was extremely happy with it. Again, Alan Tudyk is my complete sci-fi hero. He's awesome. That is, it's worth it to see that character in the movie.
Yeah, well,
Right there.
I mean, Tudyk had to do something high profile because he's got to now keep Malcolm Reynolds afloat since he got kicked off his show.
idea who that is.
Are they really are they the real life Silent J and Silent Bob?
I think so.
Those two? Are they...
I think they are. So Daniel,
So he's no longer on Conman?
no, he's no longer on
what
Castle.
No, Castle.
Castle went off the
Castle
air,
got canceled.
so he's no longer.
Oh, him.
I stopped watching Castle. I didn't even realize Alan Tudyk was on there.
No. Not,
No. Oh my God.
Now you're just trolling.
You are trolling. You son of a
No.
gun.
No, he's not.
No, I
trolling.
really
You
didn't
guys
understand.
Said it completely wrong.
Malcolm Reynolds.
You guys made it
Yeah, I didn't
sound
understand.
like Alan Tudyk was on Castle. They were talking about
Thank
Nathan
you.
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
is
Nathan
on Castle.
Fillion
Right.
on Castle.
is on Castle. And Alan Tudyk has been on Castle,
Okay.
just FYI. But that's not the point. We were talking
Right.
about Nathan Fillion.
But I
And
didn't
he's,
realize he was a major. But they're still doing Conman, right?
right, they're doing Conman, but the whole point of Conman was Tudyk made it because he couldn't get high-profile work, and Fillion was getting nothing but high-profile work. So they made the web series for that reason. And now it's exactly inverse a year later, in that Tudyk is now getting the high-profile jobs, and Fillion isn't getting any. So, yeah.
It is because he stole Rogue One.
Good.
He stole it. Like,
Well-
it's his movie.
We'll still be able to watch it in the theater, right? I'm just checking. So, Daniel, you've been very patiently waiting to give your opinion, and so please go ahead.
I went in hoping it was going to be amazing, but it's for me, the new movie order is Episode 5, and then Rogue One, and then Episode 7 or Episode 6 and Episode 4. So I mean, it's up there for me. I thought that the style of it was on point. Naomi loved the fact that it was the costumes, the design, the style, and a lot of the cameos and that kind of stuff were really fitting. And I thought they did an amazing job.
Good.
Can you go back a little bit with the math? I didn't realize there was going to be math on this podcast.
Empire Strikes Back, then Rogue
Yes,
One.
thank you. Oh,
that's all
really?
I'm
You put
saying.
it that high?
Yeah.
I think I have it at number 3 in my list. I think I have Rogue One right behind A New Hope, Empire, A New Hope, and Rogue One. I think that is my legit list right now. I need to have another viewing of it to solidify that, but I really think it's Empire, A New Hope, and then Rogue One at this point.
Pizza Man says that he really likes it when Dave is excited like a little boy.
Because I do get excited about stuff, and that's a good thing.
All right. So, Matt, did you have anything else that you played or watched?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm sure I did, but that's all I have written down.
So, the first thing that I need to do is actually a show and tell. So, a very nice friend of the site, managed to procure me a NES Classic, and I wanted to show you how short this cable is. That's it. The whole cable is like 3 feet long. So, in order to hook it up to the TV, I have my HDMI cable, which is only 6 feet. And then this thing, and it's like suspended like a bridge in the air. It actually doesn't sit on anything in order for me to play it on camera. So it's kind of amusing. But it is tiny. So you can see, I don't know if you've seen one in the wild, but it is absolutely tiny. What I learned...
I have not, and I hate you.
Yes, you're welcome. What I have learned, and we'll be playing a lot, showcasing those games on Throwback Thursdays throughout the various weeks. But what I have learned is that a lot of those games, although I remember them as being like the best games ever, do not hold up so well.
You shush your dirty whore mouth.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't. Like, I played Super Mario Brothers 1, and that was exactly as I remembered it. Super Mario 2, which is actually one of my favorite Super Mario games of all time, was just as good. But Super Mario 3, which I remember...
Considering it wasn't even a Mario game.
Which it wasn't a Mario game, yeah, I know. But Super Mario 3 is floaty as all hell compared to the other two. I mean, like, they got it so wrong on the jumping part that I had to really work to get used to the jumping on that one. But, you know, it's considered one of the best of all time. But there are a lot of other games. Excite Bike is still amazingly fun. But the whole point of us getting the NES Classic was so that Lexi could actually play these, because she's never played games like this. And she's committed that she'll actually try them, even though the graphics are ass. Quote, unquote.
Cool. I was just say that's a direct quote, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a direct quote. So, yeah. Because
Blasphemy.
she is a graphics snob like you would not believe. So that's one of the things that I was doing. I
get it, but blasphemy.
I was also playing a ton of mobile games, Clash Royale, Pokemon Go, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and of course a little item called Super Mario Run came out this week. So
Boring.
Oh, okay.
You know, I actually like it. It's not.
They locked it behind pay. You can't get past the third world without buying the thing.
Yeah, but I had already planned to do so in order to be able to talk about
try
it.
and make money?
Yeah.
Make money like everyone else with microtransactions and paywalls. At least you can play the damn thing.
No, I don't
There
want.
is a paywall.
Yeah, and
$10.
you can play it. You can play Worlds 1 through 3 all over again if you want to. And there's actually a lot in there because.
Or you can play everything for 10.
Yes. And
It's
that's.
a steal.
Oh, come on! You spend more in microtransactions in your sleep. You're like the Dave of microtransactions.
Oh!
I'm not you. I don't do microtransactions. What are you talking about?
I don't think that's the case. I think you do as well.
He's calling you out.
No,
on
he's
the
totally.
microtransactions.
No, wait. I have probably spent maybe $30 on microtransactions in the last 5 years.
Week and a half.
$5 on a
We
game
know
that I just
for-
started playing
We know for a fact
$10.
Mark has done more than that.
Oh yeah, I've done more than that.
in like the last couple days.
Yeah, no, that's actually true. Because I bought a couple season passes.
That's inside information.
It's absolutely true. I will.
Inside information. We did not know that.
Yeah, no.
We did not know that.
So I've also been playing Transformers
He's
Earth
diving
Wars,
you out.
and then John, a game that I think you would enjoy very much is called Magic Legion.
Magic Legion.
Yes, it
I'll
is.
stay away from that.
It is a lot like you said.
Stay away.
You collect. You're a magic wizard, and then you collect party members that are 1 through 6 star, and then you level them up and train. And I've not hit a paywall. I've hit like a difficulty wall, but it's not a paywall, so that's nice.
Yeah. So is this Magic Legion Hero Legends?
No, it is Magic Legion. That's it. Just Magic Legion. It has a picture of a.
Like this? Mark?
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. And that is a really good time. I've really been enjoying that one particularly a lot. What else have I been playing? I finally max out level at level 80 for Dragon Ball Z, Xenoverse 2. And I know I'll be playing that over Christmas break with some family members, so I'm looking forward to that. That game is stupid fun. I really enjoy it as a kind of a guilty pleasure game. But that's one of the things I bought the season pass for, because I enjoy it so much that I want more people to train under and stuff. So that's cool. And then
What game was that?
that's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Okay.
And then I also bought the season pass for Final Fantasy 15 because I am having such a good time with that game. I know I'm going to stick around with it for a while. I too also played Overwatch. We opened more boxes on the show. The pull rate was much better this time. I think that first initial time we spent $30 and only got 2 yellows. This time I spent $20 and I got 4 yellows. even though another one was the same damn Torbjorn Santa costume that I got 2 times the first time. But I digress. Got some cool stuff out of that.
Did you just seriously say you spent $20 on costumes?
So
I spent $20 and got 3 costumes.
right, I $20
And a bunch
and
of
I
other
got
junk.
yeah, and a bunch of other junk. So Overwatch is not my game. I'm the one that plays it, but it's actually my wife's game, and she loves the costumes. And she was like, "You have." When the I know there's not a downside here. When the Halloween one came out, she's like, "You have to get all these costumes," and so we did. And so now the Christmas one came out, she's like, "You have to get all these costumes." The drop rate is much worse than the Halloween one. I think that's something that Kate said before. And the costumes aren't as good, but what's there is I'm enjoying. So I'm done. I'm not going to buy any more boxes or spend any more, no matter how much she pleads for me to do so, because it would be a waste of money at this point. I got the major one, so no point in trying for more.
Happy wife is a happy life.
That's exactly correct. The one thing that we must play next week, John, on Don't Taste Me Bro Tuesdays, which means that it will not be Rock Band Tuesdays, will not be Treble Tone Tuesdays, sorry, Matt, is we need to play the new survival mode in the Division. Yes. So that will be next Tuesday.
That'll actually work. I don't have the kids.
Yay! So with that, let's push onwards towards our 2017 predictions. So 2016 has been a pretty craptastic year. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that.
For games.
Well, games have been good, but yeah,
For games, it's been pretty awesome.
it has been. It has
We
been.
had VR.
We do have VR.
We are VR.
Yes. So the question then becomes,
Am I the only one who remembers that?
yes, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
VR Troopers? No? Nobody?
No idea what that is.
Never mind.
I had the Lego Ghostbusters
I know
Firehouse.
what you're talking about, Matt. I know what you're talking about.
Don't save him.
2016 was awesome.
Don't save him.
because
Let
of
him.
that.
Let him continue to be awkward. Pizza Man says 2016 was okay.
Start cutting himself.
Pizza Man said 2016 was okay. I met you guys and I love all of you except for John.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Except for
He just
John. I
lost
thought he
for
hated
John.
me.
No, no. That's not. No, it's always been John.
It's a love-hate relationship. Earlier, he's asking to marry me. Now he's saying he hates me.
Broke his heart. You can only hate what you truly love.
That. Wow. That's.
There we go.
We're getting way deep on
Fair
this
enough.
than I really wanted to. Okay. So.
This is-
Predictions for 2017. Let's start with hardware. Do we see a Vita 2 in the future?
In Japan only.
That makes me sad.
What's a Vita?
Shut up, John. You
That
have
made
one.
me sad.
That made me sad, yes.
Yes.
You can bump him now.
That makes me very sad. I love the Vita, and I don't play it because there's nothing on it.
Daniel, you have a Vita. Do you play it ever?
So I actually do. I use it quite a bit when I'm playing video games. I use it to play Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII. So I don't even use it to play games that are out for it.
But it's fine. It's all good.
Mine is a.
Still
I would
the
love
Vita?
to see. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would love to see a version of the Vita that fits into a PlayStation headset as a mobile VR,
Wait, what?
like they do with like your Galaxy phone.
Oh, no, you don't want that. No. Have you used one of those?
No, you don't want that.
They're craptastic.
Yeah.
That is not. No, that's not
Okay, they're
VR.
fantastic compared to Vive.
That's not true. I have a Daydream. It's awesome.
Yeah, but even your Daydream is closer to a real VR setup than any face-mounted display that's out there that's not a real VR system.
It is. I used it once. No, twice.
Which is still one more time than I gave you credit for.
It is. I used it twice just out of spite, to be honest. But I'm hoping there's going to be something I actually want to play for it.
I think we'll see Sony attempt to do Gear VR. There you are. Yep, right there.
Nice.
Got it for free, and I'm going to return the damn thing to Best Buy.
There you go.
Nice.
Wow. The views expressed by John do not reflect those of Gamersledge, Gamersledge.com, etc.
I bought
It's an independent contractor.
an S7.
Can't control those guys.
I bought an S7 Edge, and they gave me one per phone for free, and they're on sale for $100 right now. So I'm going to return it without my receipt because I got it as a gift, which is technically true. It is technically true. Samsung gave me the Gear VR as a gift for buying an S7.
Whole digging stop, please.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Also issued by Samsung.
So nobody thinks there's going to be a new Vita. Okay, great. So what about this?
I think there will be some sort of. I think there will be some sort of another stab at mobile/handheld game space, but it won't be anything at the level of a PSP or a Vita.
No. Yeah, there's not.
I'm almost wondering if they're waiting to reveal the Vita 2 until after the Switch debut.
I think that's actually a legitimate possibility. I'm a little disappointed about the Switch. Is just jumping ahead.
I know what you're going to say.
The Switch will
Go,
be 40%.
Yeah, go ahead and bring it up now, so because it's pertinent to the discussion.
News, man.
Exactly. The whole Switch is going to be 40% less if it's undocked. The clock speed is going to be scaled back 40% less if it's undocked. That is kind of unmitigated BS.
Well, not if everything's designed with that in mind.
Yeah, but how do you deal with 40% slowdown in your game?
40% is a lot.
I mean, you just have to cut.
Okay,
you just have to cut down resources. You cut down draw distance. You cut down resolution. You cut down, color palette, and you put it on a smaller screen. Most people can't tell the difference on a smaller
It's a
screen.
Nintendo game. It's a Nintendo game. None of that matters anyway. They use like 256 colors.
That's kind of
Everything
what
has
I'm
like 12
hoping for.
pixels.
I mean,
What Daniel's
Breath of
saying
the
is
Wild
kind of what I'm
doesn't
hoping
look
for.
That good,
I mean,
What
if
Daniel's
you look
saying
at
is kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that they just kind of gear everything around that 40% limitation, and everything is like, okay, it's the same as when it's disconnected as when it's connected. If it kind of maintains that, if it's the same experience when disconnected as it is connected, then
that's
it
a
should be fine.
big if
David,
for 40%.
It is 40%'s a lot. That's a number I wasn't expecting. I was expecting like a 20% difference, if I can be honest. And to hear that the number was actually in reality a 40% difference of when it's not docked as to when it is docked, that concerns me, to be honest. I was really on board with the Switch until that. I'm a little concerned.
Really, to the masses, even if there wasn't that 40% dip, I mean, do you really think the masses are gonna care? I just, like, for me personally, I would never purchase the Switch. It has absolutely no draw to me.
You can rot in hell, sir.
That's not fair. That's valid.
Sorry,
that was
that
pretty
was
much already guaranteed anyway. So
I was being
I'll be in
emotional.
hell
I'm
with
sorry.
I'll be in hell with him. There's no way I'm buying a Switch.
I
Look,
don't see the draw. I don't see.
I
The
don't
draw
want to hate
in
everybody.
the
I don't see
draw
that-
is Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, the
Mario.
draw is
But that's
you
not
have
it.
one system.
That's it.
You have one system. And that's
And they'll
all
still
you
screw
ever
it up.
need.
Well, John, what
Shut
elaborate
your
farther,
face.
John. What when you say it's not a draw, what's
So I'm maybe for a younger kid or someone who maybe has commuting, like you, Mark, you commute a lot, so you have more downtime. I don't have downtime where I can use mobile devices short of, on my breaks or, on my lunch or something. So there's not a whole lot of draw of me being able to sit down and play and then undock it and leave and keep playing. There's like nothing there for me. So not only that is that not a selling point to me, but then having that decline in the graphics, the speed, the limited titles, not a whole lot of push to get new software onto that. I just don't see how the masses are going to purchase it.
See, and I worry that, a 40% dip in processing power means that when you undock it, your game's going to play like ass. And if that's the case, I think that's going to shoot the console in the foot. Personally.
Yeah, I worry about that.
They have to guarantee that the gameplay is the thing that doesn't take the hit.
Well, what are they going to do? Turn off all other systems? That's crazy.
Well, it's management, right? If you've got limited resources, you got to manage them, and what are you going to put it toward? If you don't, you got to keep the gameplay at the same level, which means you got to cut back on visuals and audio.
Yeah.
Because they can't exactly cut back on the number of enemies on in the thing or something and make it easy mode or something like that. I mean, I guess you could, but that would be a really weird choice.
Right, exactly. So I'm a little worried about what the choices are, what gets axed. I mean, so I know...
And we should clarify, this is all still rumor.
Right. John has kids. He's not interested in it. Kate is single. She's not interested in it. I'm interested mainly because of my wife. I am also interested to get my hands on it and put it through its paces. I do want to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, so that's a real thing. But Matt, I know you are going to get it. I know Dave's going to get it. Daniel, what about you?
So looking into it, I'll probably end up getting it, but it took me 4 or 5 years to get a Wii U. So I mean, I won't be getting it when it first comes out. My kids love my Wii U. I very seldom play it myself, but I mean, they'll one of the best things that they find about the Wii U is they can play it sitting in the same room while we're watching Netflix or something. And so the added capabilities drawn in for the Switch, I see it arriving in our house. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we're pretty split amongst the panel. About half of us, a little bit more than half of us, think it will be something that sells. The other half does not see the draw. So the question then becomes: all right, so we've got the Switch out of the way. We've talked a little bit more about some other hardware aspects. What about VR? Where does VR go from here? Is 2017 the year of the killer app for VR? Or does VR remain kind of a niche early adopter situation proposal as it is right now?
Well, you've got the first big test for VR is coming out in January, in my opinion, which is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Mm-hmm.
How are people who have a PSVR going to be able to tolerate it? Are they going to be able to play the majority of the game or as much of it as they want to in VR without it being an issue? Is there going to be a benefit to playing it in VR, or are people going to realize it's just an extra hassle to drag out the funny hat and put it on, and it really doesn't add enough to justify dragging out the funny hat because I can just play it on my TV? I think VR has to have, if Bioshock, if Resident Evil isn't that thing that makes it, oh crap, this is how this can work, I think we have to see it across all the platforms, or at least two of the 3 main platforms in 2017, or it's going to pretty quickly get relegated to that thing that sits in the corner that you spend a lot of money on, but you never drag out because everything's the same as everything you've already done.
I have the feeling that it's going to be that because a lot of people who even just played the demo for RE7 in VR were like, anything more than that and they would have thrown up. Like, it had huge kind of issues with, like, the way it did motion around you. So, I don't know, like, just judging by everyone's reaction by it, you could probably only play an hour at a time, which, you know, if you were trying to beat the game is a pain in the ass.
There was a podcast, I don't remember which one, maybe you do, Mark, but there was a podcast from a couple of weeks ago where there was actually a Capcom rep who was on one of them and saying, yeah, I played about a half hour at a time, and then I get out and I play like 2 hours on my screen, and then, you know, so it's like, even the rep was talking about only playing like less than a third of the amount of time that he'd sit down to play in VR. Yeah, and it was a really weird thing to say because you're the PR guy and you're saying, oh, I can only send, you know, at most like 30% of the time.
My single biggest issue is like for me, I only have the PlayStation VR. So my single biggest issue is the peripherals. The Move controllers are horrifically bad in every way. And you lose tracking, your hands float away, they're not very specific in your movement. It's just not, it pulls you out of the experience. And actually, and I don't know why, but I found myself more nauseated on PlayStation VR than I was on the Vive. And I don't know if that's just from less sensitivity on the tracking, so you lose your tracking more on the PlayStation, which throws you out of the experience. But unless they fix the peripherals to give you a much more specific and sensitive reaction to the hand controllers, or they bring out titles that are really driving that VR experience, it's just going to be another footnote like all the other cool tech that's come out that's been cool, but not, you know, a seller. There's no titles that are like you have to buy VR because of this one title.
Kind of like how you can't find a 3D TV anymore.
Actually, you can find a 3D TV. I just bought one not long ago.
Okay, no one is selling a 3D TV as a 3D TV. It is a TV that can do 3D. I mean,
Interesting.
there's no point. No one watches 3D movies.
Dude, you
Mark,
need a
when's
quieter
the last
keyboard
time-
for when we podcast.
Sorry, yeah, I'll
Seriously.
switch.
Stop with the mechanical stuff. I know it's cool. I know
Mechanical.
it's trendy to be all mechanical, but you can do it a non-mechanical chiclet keyboard and get everything done.
Yeah,
Who on here has a 3D TV?
me.
I do.
When was the last time any of us watched a 3D movie?
6
2 weeks
months
ago,
ago.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Before that?
Before that,
Yeah.
it's probably Guardians of the Galaxy when I first got it.
There you go. Okay.
I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange in 3D. Because I didn't watch that in the theater in 3D, so I'm looking forward to actually getting that in 3D and watching that at home in 3D.
That is a movie to watch in 3D.
Yeah,
I have a 16
I figured that.
3D TV, and I've used it once.
I played almost the entirety of Arkham City. No, what was the second one? Yeah, Arkham City in 3D.
Yeah,
That was the most
we
I
ever
used
played
the
a
3D
game in
feature
3D?
yeah, you can
Yeah,
play
let's
games in
game
3D.
I did not actually think of even playing the game
The
in 3D.
PS4 has a processor, if the game supports it, to actually do that. Do you not remember going into
The PS3 does
GameStop
too.
a while back and seeing the racing game where they had the two screens, and like you were like, "What the hell is going on?" And they're like, "Oh, it's 3D. You gotta put the glasses on to view it."
No, I go into GameStop and I'm like, give me my stuff and I'm going. What are you typing?
Because there's actually
In some chat room.
there's a chat room involved with our show, and so I am interacting with the folks on the chat room.
Why don't we see this?
Because it's fucking annoying.
Sorry.
Oh!
Hey, easy with the family rated language, please. Thank you.
I actually like the
She's
mechanical
Canadian, it's
keyboards,
okay.
Thank you very much.
So yeah,
Like if you have a directional mic, you need to move it away from your keyboard.
I do not. I have an omnidirectional mic, so I do not have a directional mic, and that's probably the issue. So all right. So hardware, I think we've beaten to.
Do you want me to
death.
buy you a quieter keyboard? Because I can do that right now.
Yeah, that's fine. That'd be good.
Hold on.
Oh.
No Scorpio? You don't want to talk about Scorpio?
Oh yeah, Project
No,
Scorpio.
who
Thank you.
cares?
No, I do. No, dude, because
who
this
cares?
is the real question. You know, is it
cares?
going to be the killer mid-range PC gap filler? You know, is it going
Wait,
to?
what?
Scorpio is
It's
basically.
a console.
It's not a console. If you look at it,
It's
it's
still a console.
basically a PC, and that's my
What's
point.
it called?
Project
Is it
Scorpio.
called an Xbox?
It's
It's
called
called an
Xbox Project Scorpio.
So when people go to a store, do they say, I want an Xbox Project Scorpio? Or do they just say, no, I want an Xbox?
Well, if they want to make sure that they get a Scorpio, they'll probably say, I want an Xbox Project Scorpio.
Right, which they won't know.
Dave.
Mm-hmm. I'm being serious. How many people aren't really going to know that? They're just going a lot of people are going to go in to say, just give me the newest Xbox, and they're just going to get the newest Xbox. A lot of people aren't really going to know about the Project Scorpio.
Well,
That it's a
here's
completely separate
my
thing.
problem with the here's my problem with the Scorpio. Aside from a very small percentage of the community which has to have the newest thing regardless, Ian, I'm looking at you.
Oh!
Super fan name call out. All right.
Yeah. There's the market by the time the Scorpio comes out is going to be so saturated with Xboxes and PS4s. Who the heck is going to need an $800 Xbox or whatever they subsidize it to? The timing on this is
just buy a
just
PC.
very, very, very weird.
At that point, it's pretty much just buy a PC, dude.
Well, but that to me is exactly what Scorpio is. This is them, we're pulling the wool over the gamers' eyes. They are actually getting them into the PC space. Hey, if you like Project Scorpio, then we've got this upgraded version that you can buy for a couple $100 more that does X more things. And suddenly they've moved into the PC sales space as opposed to a closed console. I mean, it's still closed because they're the one manufacturing it, but it actually seems like it's a PC play to me. That they're basically transitioning.
It still can't do everything a PC can do, though.
Well, I don't know.
Unless they make it do that. I mean, there is the possibility. You're hooked up to a giant HD monitor, put a keyboard and a mouse on it, and switch to Windows mode, and it's possible. But I think the key here is, if they're going to go that route, then they have to make everything on that system a modular cartridge. Because I'm going to need the Scorpio 1020 video card and the 690 processor package, and then next year I'll need the 695 processor package and the 2090 video card.
But it's in there.
You're going to have to have that thing so it can pop open, and you just pull up this cartridge and you throw in a new cartridge and you go.
But see, I think that will be an option, not the norm. So, like, for example, I know Daniel has PCs, but Daniel doesn't. He's got a PS4, but it's mainly used
What's
for
Daniel
Netflix.
doing right now, actually?
He's
What is
playing.
that in his hand?
Boy?
It's his Pip-Boy. I've got one too.
Oh,
Playing with
that's
this
awesome.
Pip-Boy.
Yeah. So
No, but Daniel's is
No.
cooler than yours.
yeah. So Daniel, if you could buy a mid-range, let's call it a mid-range PC, but not have to worry about the configuration because that's already done for you. and presented to you as the Xbox Project Scorpio, is that an interesting proposition, or would you prefer to build your own PC and do all the stuff that comes with building your own PC? Because I think most people would not prefer to build their own PC, personally.
Yeah, but I think that you're probably asking the wrong group.
That's very true. That's very true.
It's true, because we're in a bubble.
I prefer to build my own systems, regardless of what they are, so I understand what's in them. And I mean, I've been looking. My daughter, we've been trying to get her into stuff that she really enjoys, and it turns out she really enjoys coding. So right now she uses an old laptop, and I know that the next thing we get for her is going to be a home-built, from scratch computer that she can use for coding, because that's something she enjoys. So
She's gonna do well in life.
I hope. Just keep her focused. But yeah,
No,
that's
there's not a hope there. If she's like already on that path, she's gonna do extremely well.
All right, are there any other hardware items to bring up for our conversation? If not, let's turn to software.
Do you want to continue? Well, I have a question about it. Kind of covers both of those. What kind of content is going to be on the Scorpio? What kind of software is it like the PlayStation Pro, where they're just saying, hey, this is going to be native 4K, or are they going to open it up to developers of PC style games that they can run on this mid-level Scorpio?
It's got to be stuff that fits on the lowest common denominator.
Because why am I going to spend $800 or whatever it is on a mid-level PC range Scorpio when I can spend that and get a custom-built PC that is nearly... I mean, for $800 to $1,000, I can build a PC that can run anything.
You're not a soccer
No,
mom.
I did it.
You're not a soccer mom who doesn't know how to build a computer.
Well, no. I wouldn't have to necessarily build it. CyberPC.com. They'll build it for me. I just need to click a button. I don't actually
Right.
have to build it.
You're a full up gamer though, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that don't go when they want a computer, they go to Dell. And if I want a computer that's made by the same people that make my son's Xbox, I'll go and grab the Scorpio because that's what he wants. I mean, if there weren't those people, then there's a lot of gaming money that would just be spent on other things. I think that in the end, the Scorpio will do fairly well because of the audience that it's pointed towards, which is not necessarily people like us that build computers or know what we want out of a computer.
I guess I just don't understand what kind of content would be on such a machine. I mean, the PlayStation Pro isn't even that much more.
No, the PlayStation Pro is the one that I don't understand. Because it doesn't even do native 4K resolution. It's a useless piece of hardware. It does nothing except...
Saying that is not entirely accurate. It can do 4K natively. It just can't do it for the high-end games.
No, I'm sorry. The top-of-the-line computers that are out today cannot do native 4K. They cannot push it for more than 10 frames a second.
You can if you're doing a simple enough game. There are games on the PS4 right now that are native 4K. They're very simple graphically, but they are there.
But you're not going to have Final Fantasy 15 in native 4K.
That's what I said. It's not the bigger games.
Right, but which is misleading because people will buy it based on the assumption that, oh, I'm gonna buy it and my Madden will run at, or my Call of Duty will run at 60 frames a second, 4K resolution, and that's not the case.
Okay, the same audience Daniel's talking about doesn't know the difference between native 4K and upsampled or downsampled 4K.
Hey,
Sure.
let's not be mean now.
No, I don't think it's being mean. I think it's
No,
being accurate.
I think it's also accurate.
These are
Sure,
people,
I don't.
Yeah.
I have no freaking clue. Nor do I care. It's like, 1080p is just fine for me. I don't really care. Why do I know?
All 4K, all 4K is it means that the electronics in the system are made with 4 karat gold.
Oh, 24 karat gold.
So,
That's right.
so again, back to my original question: what kind of software is going to be on the Scorpio that's going to drive the need for this console?
And again, it goes to my original thing: nothing, because they're going to program to the lowest common denominator, which is the 1080p stuff. That's what's going to be the driver of everything.
Because you don't buy a console because it's a console. You buy a console because of the software and the content that you have for it, or can get.
Bingo. Exactly.
So,
Thank
unless
you.
there's a significant increase in the content in which is provided on that system, I would have zero reason to go for a console with that.
If you're a Halo fan, and Halo, what are we on, 6 or 7? I don't even know.
Yeah, 6
only
would
comes
be
out on Scorpio.
right.
6. If Halo 6 only comes out on Scorpio, if they divide their player base like that, I think there'll be a lot of pissed off people, but I think they'll also sell a lot of Scorpios.
Yep, and that is kind of to answer your question, John. I think their play is to move people to the mid-range PC market using Scorpio as the placebo drug, but then also eventually kill the Xbox One and the 360 completely. I mean, 360 is technically already dead, but start moving everything over and get people into that ecosystem so that they become, comfortable with that mindset.
Well, people are already willing to spend $600 on a console. What was it? PlayStation 3 launched at $600, $599. Do I remember that?
Yeah, but it
correctly?
didn't do well until after it dropped in price a couple of times.
It didn't? I thought it did pretty well at launch. I know it didn't do as well as they had wanted, and it didn't do as well as when it dropped in price, but I thought it launched... Didn't it launch pretty well?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head.
For which console? I'm sorry.
360 or PlayStation 3.
Did it launch well? No, it launched horribly because of the price point.
Really? Oh.
Oh yeah, no, it took them.
I guess I was sucker.
It took them years to play catch up with the 360 because of that.
I bought it.
So did we.
Well, I bought 2, so yeah, I got nothing. Again, to Daniel's point, this is the wrong group. This is the wrong group for that kind of discussion. So yeah, all right. So hardware predictions, software predictions. We are running out of time. We need to get to the news if we're going to get through it. But Zelda Breath of the Wild, does it sell as well as Nintendo thinks it's going to?
Yes. It's
Well, there's a Wii U version, so at the very least, it's going
Oh.
to sell pretty damn well.
Yeah, but
There's a Wii U version.
But Super Mario Run sold more than the entire Wii U install base in like 2 days.
Well, that's
Okay,
because
but
like
no,
5
that's-
people have a Wii U.
That's not based on accurate statements though, because everyone has one of these.
Yeah.
So everyone has the
I've got
opportunity.
Samsung, Android.
Yeah, you get my point. Everyone has a smartphone with the capability to buy this program, so of course your numbers are going to be higher.
So
That is not going to sell as well.
so it's not going to sell as well.
I think it might sell well, but it's not going to sell well enough for them to not still be the joke.
She sounds weird.
Whoa!
Yeah, Demon Kate emerged. I was just watching. I was just watching John and Daniel's reaction. That was pretty good right there. Can you please repeat that in normal voice?
Challenger enters.
Yes.
I was going to say that no matter how well the Switch sells,
Mhm.
it won't sell enough for Nintendo to not be a joke.
Well, I mean, they have their
True.
entire programming team of 200 plus in-house programmers working on one game. What does that mean for flow through for the rest of their stuff? I don't get how this is gonna work. Everyone in the chat is now going insane about Kate's demon voice. Sorry. because they just caught up to them. So yeah, I think that by the time you look at the number of sell-through numbers for the Switch combined with the Wii U, it's still going to be a fraction of a best-selling game on something like Wii or PS3 or Xbox One or PS4 even. I think it's going to be a real challenge for them to recoup what they think they're going to get out of it, personally.
I'm still shocked they haven't opened up the franchise to other consoles.
I'm still shocked that we're less than 3 months from launch and we have zero information about the unit, pretty much.
I actually like that. I appreciate that in a way that the lead time that we have on marketing these days is insane.
No. It's one thing to do that for software or like a movie or something, but for hardware,
where you're asking people to invest a sizable amount,
that's a lot of money that you're dropping. That's not like, I know
yeah, but you're not dropping it till you walk into the store and get it.
No, but you're asking people to enter into a contract with you of sorts, of saying, I'm going to give you my money and I know what I'm getting. And that's not where we're at right now with the Switch. We know that.
Why do you need to know that months in advance?
Because that's going to determine whether or not you're going to take the money into the store.
Because there's a lot of people who are this. There's a lot of people who are this thing called poor, and it's not just
then you shouldn't be buying freaking video games.
No, that's not true. But
okay, budgeting, yes, but for how many?
Can I talk?
Yeah, but then you don't buy it on release day. If that's a financial realism for you, then you don't buy it on launch day. If it's going to take you 6 months and you need to know every spec before you're going to start saving money for it. I mean, we know it's coming. We know it's been coming for months now. So if you started saving from the time it was announced, that's easily, 6 to 8 months from the time it was announced to the time it's launching. Even at $50 a month, you're well within the range of the console and a game at launch.
Yeah, but then if I find out a whole bunch of like information that's just like, not cool, then I don't know.
Then you need to wait for something else.
Yeah, but I feel ill will towards Nintendo for not putting that up there.
See, say what you will about the PlayStation 3 launch. They told us well in advance. They gave us the price point. They said you should go out and work second job so that you can afford this thing because it's going to be that awesome. But they gave us too much information, and they talked about the guts of the machine and what it was going to do and all the things they had planned for it. Whereas Nintendo
ended up being completely irrelevant.
Yeah, but the point is that they entered into that contract for buying something with a consumer of giving them as much information ahead of time so that they could save their pennies for it and then buy it. And this is
so if you're going to buy a ham, how far in advance do you need to know the exact contents of that ham before you go and buy it?
A ham is not an electronic device that costs hundreds of dollars.
Okay, still, you've got an electronic device that's going to cost $500. Let's just say $500. It's going to be less, but let's just say $500. Whether the specs, what it can do, what titles, you're anticipating wanting it, so you can anticipate needing to save that money, and then on launch day, you can review all the specs and decide whether you're going to buy it. It's not like you're locked in and then you lose that money that you just saved. You still have that money saved in your bank account. So what does it matter whether they give us the specs 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, or at launch?
This is scaring me. John and I are in total agreement, and this is scaring me.
I think what would validate this argument is, by the way, congratulations, we're launching a new hardware system tomorrow. And we haven't told you about it yet. There's no information about it yet. You didn't know it was coming, but we want you all guys all to go buy it. That would be the argument for this. Where this argument would fall true. The fact that we don't know the specifics about it, it doesn't matter because you're not obligated to buy it. You're not obligating yourself to a pre-order. You just are in the dark until they launch it, but you're not obligated to purchase it, so you're not out anything. I don't understand why everyone's in uproar about it. Worst case scenario, you go buy hookers and blow. Call it a day.
And we went there.
Yeah, no.
Where's Dave? That was for... Oh, Dave's not even there.
Yeah.
That was totally for Dave.
I don't know. Daniel, where do you weigh in on this? Do you think that they should be releasing the specs in advance? Do you think that it's okay for them not to?
Like I said, I am not the type that buys anything day it comes out. So I guess I don't really have a preference one way or the other.
I guess what specs would deter you or encourage you to make that pre-order? Like how, from what they've given us now, how much of a change would they have to make to sway someone one way or the other?
No slowdown on undocking.
So on undocking, a slowdown on undocking would make you not want it now?
It is going to be slowdown on undocking.
If
I
they
don't like that.
if they use proprietary memory cards, if they have a horrible online interface that requires friend codes again, you know, all stuff that,
Nintendo, of course they're going to do all that.
you know, I hope not, but that's the whole point, is I want to know. And they're not giving us any information to make an educated choice of whether or not I should be saving my pennies for it. Now, I'm in a dumb position in that I have to buy it no matter what anyways, so that we can at least review it, talk about it, stream it, etc. But for the average person, if they want to be informed and start saving their money, because, Matt, not everybody gets an allowance that's a fixed amount on a regular basis. And remember that these consoles are ultimately, historically, for kids. Yes, we play them, we obsess about them, but kids may not be able to save up 8 months in advance. They get Christmas, which is the time leading up to it, and they're going to get all these Christmas gifts in the form of money. Do I save it for the Switch, or do I spend it on other toys that I can get in my hand right now? I think it's a dumb move from their marketing perspective to hold the information back so that people can't start lining their ducks up in a row to say, day one, I gotta have a Switch. I agree, it's their right to hold it back. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
I think it's irrelevant. You either know if you want a Nintendo console or if you don't. You know. Once it's announced, you know.
I think
Yeah,
we
I
spent
mean,
too much time
they
talking
released-
about this.
They've
probably right.
released enough information for me to know whether I want one or not. The specifics they could or couldn't release aren't going to deter me
Okay.
or encourage me to buy.
All right, so then let's... any other high-profile pieces of software we need to discuss on predictions for 2017?
Horizon.
Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
Horizon.
7 remake is still a possibility.
Do we really think it's going to come out this year?
No.
Like I said, it's a possibility. Might come out
Holiday.
December.
Yeah, I think we have a
Still
possibility for a
2017.
holiday season.
I think if they're going to do it, it's going to be on the 20th anniversary. That's the only way. If they can't get it by the 20th
You
anniversary,
didn't
they'll
see the
push it.
news? You didn't see the news?
About...
They're having a thing on January 31st.
For the 30th
to-
anniversary
to
of
start-
Final
to kick
Fantasy.
off the 30th anniversary.
Right.
Yeah. So they're probably going to announce something then for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's going to be episodic, so it's not all of Final Fantasy VII. So there's a distinct possibility that it will be released in 2017.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen it for over a year.
Right. So it'll be interesting
So I
to...
don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all.
Oh, I don't get me wrong. I really want to see it. I guess the follow-up question there would be Kingdom Hearts 3. Do we see it this year?
No. No.
I doubt it.
We might actually see a trailer of it.
Do we get Horizon Zero Dawn, will it be amazing or flop?
I think so.
So
I think it's going to be pretty amazing. Oh, dang it. What is it called? Guerrilla Studios? Guerrilla Games?
Guerrilla Games.
Guerrilla Games? Is that what their company is?
Yeah.
This is their chance to break out from Killzone. And
Yeah, it's Guerrilla
they are
Games.
not going to waste it because they are so sick of Killzone. It's not funny.
Right.
I'm a little jaded these days. I think it's going to be entertaining, it's going to be fun, but it's going to be mediocre. Nothing's really
I don't have-
crushing it these
I
days.
don't have high expectations of it, just because there's a lot of things that have been super hyped up as looking awesome and that haven't been. No Man's Sky, but you know, I'm hoping because it looks cool, but I don't want to get super hyped about it.
Will we see PS4 Spider-Man from Insomniac in 2017?
Oh God.
That's a possibility as well.
I would think they would do everything in their power to time it with Homecoming.
That's a tight timeline, but yeah. I mean, they're completely unrelated, but
Do we know what percentage they are into production?
We know they've been
super tight-lipped about it.
Yeah, we know they've been.
Because they could be pretty far for all we know. Like, they haven't.
Yeah, they could be.
Like, they just showed that one trailer at E3, but God, they could be like way farther than we think they are. Or they could be like super far behind. Yeah, it's a possibility though for 2017. It would be financially smart to do it like around Homecoming.
Yeah, I mean,
Ride that wave.
I'm thinking 2017 we're gonna see new Soul Calibur.
Ooh.
oh, I agree. Yeah, 2017 will be that we will have a Soul Calibur. The question is, what will it be, a remake or will it be a real deal? I'm hoping it's a real deal.
It might be a reboot, which would be smart considering how lukewarm the reception for 5 was.
Now here's the real question. Will Persona 5 live up to all of Mark's dreams and expectations?
Yes. Yes, it
Nothing
will.
lives up to his dreams and expectations.
But seriously, Resident Evil 7, is it going to revive Resident Evil? I mean, we're talking about a series here that's 7 games in. That's just the numbered, not including all the extra stuff. Is this not really a reboot enough to salvage a struggling franchise?
Not just a struggling franchise, but a struggling publisher.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, if Resident Evil 7 doesn't do well, they have to put all their eggs in the Marvel vs. Capcom basket.
And that's a tricky basket to put your eggs in.
Yep.
I honestly haven't played a Resident Evil game since like the second or the third one.
Well, and there's also still what the hell happened to the Resident Evil 2 remake that was supposed to. We haven't heard anything about that. Is that still even happening?
That's a great question. Capcom in general is just not. I mean, I think honestly, if it wasn't for Sony right now, they would be in way worse straits than they are.
Yeah. They would have had to. Another company would have probably had to buy them out. By now.
So let's ask this question: in 2017, does Sony acquire Capcom and make them a first-party studio?
Holy crap.
That would be like insano.
That,
Like,
yeah.
think of all
I think
those
that's about the only way you
IPs.
could.
Think about all those IPs.
Because you know that's got to be going through Sony execs' mind right now, as they are continually helping them release games that are making them money, like
Yeah.
Marvel vs.
And
Capcom.
the thing is, the games might actually turn out better if that happened, because I don't know whose ass Capcom Japan's head is up, but they're not making good decisions.
No.
As programmers, as executives, as anything.
I don't know, the last game that Sony helped along didn't fare so well.
Well, but that's because they still chose to make really bad business decisions about how they launched it.
And I mean, you're talking about Street Fighter V, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, I was talking
And
about
I mean,
the
even
guy.
when they added all the stuff to Street Fighter V that was supposed to make it better, it didn't. And now they'll have I mean, they're doing season 2 with Akuma and some other people, but I don't think that's enough to save it.
Yeah.
And like I said, if RA7 doesn't do good, they're in trouble.
Agreed.
And the game looks... I still wish it wasn't first person, but at least it looks frightening, which is more than you could say about anything since, well, Remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 was a great game, but I didn't find it scary at all.
All right, so I think we've beaten the predictions to death. Is there any other ones that I'm remembering? We're going to have like 5 minutes for news.
Do you think they'll do, for going back to Final Fantasy for a second, do you think they'll do, like, remember there was that rumor of that Giganto, every Final Fantasy in a trunk thing?
Yeah, dude, so that is not...
rumor?
Yeah, that is not something that I don't think we talked about. Did we talk about this 2 weeks ago? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, because there's a rumor of a giant chest from Final Fantasy, and inside is every game they ever published re-released for PS4. Every game.
And then there was a bunch of other stuff
For Final
too, like
Fantasy.
books and
Yeah,
figures
books and movies and all that
kinds of
stuff.
crazy stuff.
And there's no word, but this is set to launch on the 30th anniversary, and it would probably cost $1,000+, and I would totally buy it in a heartbeat because I am a Final Fantasy whore all the way. I will buy just about anything from Final Fantasy.
I would just be happy if they did, yeah, you can have the special edition, but I'd just be happy if they were like, oh, we're gonna release every Final Fantasy on the PS4, like the way they did with Final Fantasy VII. I'd be super happy with just that, even if it didn't come in like a crazy package.
Yeah, I definitely hope that is something that they do. I have a feeling that it was a hoax, but then at the same time, if there seems to be enough demand for it, could they do it? That would be very interesting. I would totally do that.
Not at that price point.
Well, I mean, you got to start breaking it down. What's the cost per game, and then what's your cost per hour to figure out your cost-benefits ratio, if you're going to be...
I hear you.
Yeah.
Even if we could just get a bare bones version for like 200, I would totally buy that.
Yeah, I'd do a couple hundred.
Because look at all the games you'd get.
Yep. All right, so let's jump to news then. We have a ton of it. Let's hit the highlights because otherwise we're going to go way over. Does anybody know what happened to Dave?
Yeah, I was just trying to get into the Twitch chat. He had to step away. He wasn't feeling hot, so he stepped away. He won't be back.
All right then. That's what happens. Yeah, the Kraken has been released.
Well, yeah, he was starting to have a coughing, and just didn't want to be in the chat.
Got it.
So
I think he fell over.
So
at
he's
one
got
point.
that allergy pneumonia, or not pneumonia, allergy sinus thing going on. So
I am scrolling up to the first news. Steam Holiday Sale dates have been confirmed. Steam Holiday Sale will start December 22nd, which is tomorrow. Which means say goodbye to your wallet because Steam sales are amazing.
which is why I never go into Steam when they're going on.
My computer can't really play computer games, so I'm always really glad because Steam sales are just too tempting.
Oh, you know what? I misquoted before. The NES Classic is what I was trying to say before, has sold as many units in 30 days as all of the Wii U in 6 months. 196,000 units shifted since launch in the US. So, I mean, yeah.
Smaller price point.
It is a smaller price point, but the fact is that just means that they're doing it wrong across the board. Terry Crews wants to be in Overwatch and visits Blizzards. I hope he makes it in there. That would be amazing. Pokemon Go is not canceled for the Apple Watch, but they say it's still coming.
But the Apple Watch is canceled.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't realize Pokemon Go was still going.
Yeah. Oh, Pokemon Go is still strong. They released a stat that said that if the people playing Pokemon Go have walked enough to circle the Earth like 200 times or something like that, or 200,000 times, or some ridiculous number. I don't have that one in front of me. Otherwise, I'd quote it. League of Legends has signed a $50 million annual deal between themselves and MLB Advanced Media for esports streaming. So they are really committing to esports as the future for the franchise.
For that franchise, definitely.
Yeah. Stock prices for Nintendo continue to drop after the launch of Super Mario Run. A lot of critics gave it middling reviews, and a lot of consumers don't like the $10 price point, just like Matt.
Huh. No, that was me.
And me.
Yeah, both of you. Witcher 3 dev, CD Projekt Red has gotten $7 million from the Polish government to research seamless multiplayer. They went to the government and said, will you give us a grant so that we can develop seamless multiplayer for our games? And the Polish government said yes. Good on CD Projekt Red. Way to use the system.
Good for them.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings and D&D's MMOs have been acquired by the remnants of Sony Online Entertainment, which I am blanking on the name of the company. It is now owned by Warner Brothers, and it is called Daybreak Games. So the folks that own H1Z1 and PlanetSide, they're now all taking control of Lord of the Rings Online and Dungeons and Dragons Online. The former company that had been making them is now making indie games. After the Star Wars Rogue One debut, Disney movies have now made a record $7 billion this year. I think if anything deserves a pinky,
insane.
it's that one. $7 billion.
Now they can make a
They're the
robot
first
body
studio
from
to
Walt
hit that
Disney when he
ever,
unbraces
right?
his head.
Yeah, they are the first one
Yeah.
ever.
Well,
The last one
oh,
was like
real nice
6.5
robot
billion.
body.
Kate, you go first.
Robo
Oh, I
body.
was just gonna say, Walt Disney could get a really nice robot body.
Yes, agreed.
$7 billion.
John, what were you saying?
Oh, I think the last person to do it was, or the last group was like 6.5 billion.
Yeah.
I don't know which studio it was, but it was 6.5 billion.
So Thumper, which is actually one of my nominations for Music Game of the Year, has now come to the Steam VR and Oculus stores. So FYI, you should check that out because it's really good. The Final Fantasy 15 update that launched yesterday comes with New Game Plus, an official New Game Plus. It also comes with oh, weird. So one of the things that I do in the game that has been driving me nuts because it's actually kind of hard to do is if you want to save your XP and not level up, you really have to work out of the system of the game to do it. I've been able to do it, but it basically consists of my guys getting really close to death than me finding a shop for us to go eat in and then rinse and repeat and never do a story mission, because a lot of the story missions force you to rest and accrue XP. There is now an experience band that stops experience points from being tallied, preventing the party from leveling up for an additional challenge. There's also a carnival going on for the fall holidays, and you can get a passport to go to the carnival. And then for folks with the season pass, you get a Ring of Resistance, which renders the entire party to be resistant to magical friendly fire, which is a big thing. Tech Turbocharger.
That's really nice.
Yeah. A Tech Turbocharger, a device for Noctis that accelerates the tech bar replenishment rate, but freezes the armature bar. So if you don't use the armature bar, then that's a good thing.
I use the armature all the time.
Well, congratulations. They have the opposite one called an armature accelerator that freezes the tech bar, but lets you accelerate the armature bar replenishment rate. I'm looking for other big things here. Kind of scanning it.
Oh my god.
Becky?
I just got play of the game as Lucio.
Oh boy, you're playing while we're broadcasting. All right.
But I just got play of the game as Lucio.
Well, congrats.
As Lucio.
Media Molecules Dreams beta has been delayed. We already talked about the Switch running 40% slower undocked. Warner Brothers Montreal cancels an unannounced Suicide Squad game.
Yes,
And
boy.
and
Why do
now
you have to announce the canceling of an unannounced game? Why would you do that?
and will now focus mainly on their other big project, a Batman game starring Damian Wayne.
Ugh. Maybe they should just start with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's my response is they should just start the Suicide Squad one. Crytek closing 5 of their studios will refocus their business model in only Frankfurt and Kiev on premium IPs and the Cry engine. Crytek not doing well. So our thoughts...
Which is funny because the Cryware thing is really doing well. So.
Yeah, it is. So what are they doing so terribly wrong? That's where we'll go ahead and end the news. Unless anybody else has urgent pressing news to bring in.
Nothing I've seen.
Okay. So, then that brings us to reader mail. We just have a couple of questions. One of them is by Pizza Man. Pizza wants to know, in 2017, will I know where Mark lives?
No.
Mark's safety, I hope not.
I don't know what the problem is. I already gave him your address, like, weeks ago.
I know, but he's like, that's not a real address. I don't know what his deal is.
Did you give him 123 Fake Street?
No, he did not. He actually made it much better than that. That's the only piece of... I think that was the only question in there. I did want to give a shout out to Donkey. Donkey is an old YouTuber gaming person who I had been following for a while, and he's actually in our chat. And he's got tons of followers on YouTube. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And then shout out also to Wolf Dropout for coming by, and of course, as always, Pizza Man. And that will bring us to final thoughts. And for final thoughts, we will start with Kate.
Play of the game is Lucio.
What?
Has
What?
that ever happened?
Yes.
Ever?
Yeah, I've seen it happen before.
It's usually Bastion.
I finally saw a play of the game with Symmetra, my main, so that's nice.
Stupid robot. Really? I've never seen Symmetra.
Yeah, no,
It's
you
usually
got
a
it the other
dumbass
day.
Robot. The robot that if he's on your team, you like him, but otherwise you just wish he would die.
Yeah. You wish he would die.
If he would die.
Yeah. Daniel, final thoughts.
Just, you guys out there, make sure you're keeping an open mind and trying role-playing games when you get a chance.
Yeah.
That's it.
D&D every week over here.
Yeah.
Another final thought.
Okay. Sure.
Tracer confirmed gay.
That is true.
Their mascot. That's like saying Mario, like making Mario or Link gay. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's true. It is like taking a character that was made 40 years ago and changing their entire backstory.
Because Tracer is the mascot of
So
Overwatch.
popular. Yeah. I get you saying.
Overwatch is really popular, man.
No, he was agreeing with you.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
John.
Because they could have made any of the other 20 characters gay, but they made their mascot gay, so it's pretty awesome.
John, final
Very
thoughts.
confused by all this. That's my final thought. I don't know who Lucio is or anything of what's going
It's a
on. right
Pokemon.
It, you know, the sad part is you need to actually pick it up because you'd really enjoy the game, I think. Just FYI.
now. Is it going to be
Actually,
like that
Lucio
other
is
game
pretty close to being a
that we
Pokemon.
played?
No.
I can't even remember what the call of it, what the name of it is now.
Destiny?
Call of Duty.
No.
No.
Terraria?
Ah,
One
Pokemon
where
2?
it's like the Dota clone.
Paragon? Oh no, you're talking about the deity
Yes,
one.
and-
Smite. Smite?
Yes. Thank you.
No. I
Is
never
Overwatch kind of like Smite.
I never told you, but Smite's free. You don't have to buy it.
No, he's asking
Justice
if
League
Overwatch is
Unlimited?
like Smite.
Oh, no, Overwatch is like Team Fortress.
I never played that either.
Yeah, you should
It's a
you should
team-based shooter.
you should share play this with me. It's a team-based shooter, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. We can share play.
Free?
It is not free,
not
sadly.
free.
It's not, but it's been on lots of sales
It
recently.
it has been on lots of sales. So
Steam sale starts tomorrow.
No free sales.
yeah, it might be on free sale, John. We'll reconvene.
Rut roll.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
No.
Matt. Final thoughts.
Yeah, go watch Rogue One if you haven't. If you have, go watch it again. Otherwise, play games. Because, some of us are old and have responsibilities and can't. So those of you who are young and don't have any need to.
And then my final thought is we have a ton of stuff coming up for streams. Tomorrow we're going to do Throwback Thursdays, so we'll be playing the NES Classic. Let us know. Thanks, Donkey, for watching. Have a good one, man. And let us know what you want us to play on the streams. We'll start that at 8 p.m. Pacific tomorrow night. Also, check out the store. It's gamersledge.com/store. We've got some new stuff up there, so all kinds of geek-tastic jewelry, necklace, accoutrement, if you will, for both guys and girls, all appear there, so check that out. You have a question, Matt?
Well, I have one more thing. We talked about this earlier, and I forgot to do it. The Rock Band Rivals clan.
Yes.
We Are Groot. It's We Are Groot. We space R space Groot. And there's 3 slots left. If anybody's interested, we need XP earners if we're gonna try and take the next tier. So.
So let us know what you want us to play from the NES Classics for Throwback Thursdays. Fridays we will be doing. I know it is kind of getting close to the holidays, but we are going to do Jackbox Party Pack. So come on by if you want to play. It is a good time. What's that?
I said, are we?
We are.
Missing it, like, 'cause I always have to work whenever you play.
Yeah, we will be again this Friday. We had a full house last time, so it was standing room only. We had people in the audience waiting to come in, so make sure you get there early. That will start at 8 p.m. Pacific on the dot as well. Hope to see everybody that's here tonight there. And then there will be streaming next week. There will be a podcast next week. I may be alone. I don't know about that, but there will be a podcast next week. Okay, good.
I'll be there.
Okay, good. And we'll tackle the retrospective. Since we did the forward look this week, we'll do the retrospective last week, 2016 in review. And then that brings us to ending out the show as we always do with a token of wisdom to leave you on your way. This week, it's an especially
You do
good
realize
one.
Someday Kate is going to save up to buy a plane ticket just so she can come and punch you in the face.
And you know what? I will gladly meet her at the gate because that's a hell of a lot of conviction, and I appreciate that kind of conviction. So, for tonight's parting thought, what do you call a guy with a rubber toe?
I don't know. What do you call a guy with a rubber toe?
Roberto. Until next week, game on. Oh, wait, no, don't leave yet, because we got to thank our patrons. If you would like to support us, also, you can head over to patreon.com/Gamersledge. Where
The patrons just unsubscribe.
no, they didn't. For as little as $1 a month, you can get your name on every show that you do. If you pledge at the $5 level, we thank you right here in the show. So thank you, Regina. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, John. Go to patreon.com/Gamersledge. Help us continue making great content. Until next week, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Roberto. Hold on, I'm in the outro. Kate, I have something for you. Don't leave yet.
Nope, that's actually Luke.